Welcome once more to Quantress Kitchen, and if this is your first time stopping by, I want to say a very warm aboboi to you. Today I'm making Bambara beans and tatale with you, and I really hope you enjoy this recipe. Tatale and Bambara beans is like a good combination, a perfect pair that is normally sold on the streets of Ghana, and you can make it at home any day yourself, and that is what we're making. Pretty simple. The beans actually is what is going to be in this recipe, and we call it beans, but it's actually a ground nut because what we see as the beans comes on the roots of the plant. So when you uproot your plant, that is where you will find it instead of the typical bean that would grow as a sprout on your plant. It is delicious. Very hard to cook, but I mean, once it is well cooked, it is just delicious, flavorful, smells good. And I really hope you try this. This is gonna be vegan. So my vegan friends, if I have any on here, as I eat so much meat most of the time, at least here in my videos, I hope there are some vegans here and you will try this recipe. So I would like to say a big thank you to all of you for how far you've brought my channel, for your love, your support, and I will hope that you continue to help this channel grow. Kindly continue to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Okay, let's do some cooking. Okay, so here's my bowl of Bambara beans, and I want to show you a close-up of it so you will see it is not chickpea. People call it chickpea or tend to refer to it as chickpea and ask me if it is chickpea. It's not, it's Bambara beans. Chickpea is more on the rough side. Here are the ingredients you will need. I have my Bambara beans, some virgin coconut oil, 1 medium onion, some shito or any pepper you prefer, salt and sugar. And to start, you will need to soak your beans. This is like a bigger and harder kind of bean or nut that takes a longer time than your average beans to cook. So you would want to soak it anywhere between an 8 to 24 hour period. But on this day, I really wanted to cook this so that I forgot to soak it ahead of time. So I pretty much soaked it for about 5 hours. And so after 5 hours, you can see it's swollen, looking more right now like chickpeas, right? Because it's like rough on the edges and all, but it is Bambara nuts. And I have washed them and I am transferring them into my cast iron pot. I hear it is more preferable to cook this in your earthenware pot if you have it. I don't. So I've added some water at this point just to cover it slightly and to cook. And so I'm bringing it to a boil. Typically this would take anywhere from 2 to 4 hours, especially 2 to 3 hours, depending on the heat and the amount of beans you're probably cooking. So this took me roughly 2 hours, and I kept on adding water every now and then. So you see me constantly opening, checking on it, adding water if I needed to. Like right now, I think it's about time that I add water. This is like the first like half hour into the cook time. So I add more water to it. Cover it. And then like an hour into the cook time, right now I have added more water. I added water before I came in to add my onion and peppers. I just didn't video that part. So this is pretty much like an hour and 20 minutes into the cook time. And now I let these cook for about 20 minutes. Remove them, and as you can see, the water is already like drying up on it as well. The beans is swelling and swelling. It's looking more on the softer side now, but it's not all the way there yet. It's getting there. And so now I'm going to add my salt, my brown sugar, and give it a stir. Typically, I never used to add brown sugar to this. So let me tell you the story. My friend came to visit me. My friend Amma, she's actually the one who supplied me with these beans. Anyway, so I've blended my onions and peppers and I've added it to this. You know, people, I don't know if it's normally done, but typically where I come from, we don't even put sugar or anything. We make it like any other bean stew and we add palm oil sometimes. If that is how you make yours, can you comment so I know I'm not the only stranger? So I learned this like to make my Bambara beans this way, maybe like less than 3 years ago when my friend came to visit. She was pregnant and we were cooking the beans and she's like, are you going to add sugar? I'm like, at the end of the year, when you know more the way, like medium, I'm dreaming who beans and so the sugar. She's like, no, we add sugar. So I went on my Instagram account, you know, Controls Kitchen on Instagram, and I posted it out there asking people if they put sugar in their Bambara beans. And the people, you know, most people, the guys normally do. So I learned to put sugar now. Anyway, this has cooked for a little over 2 hours. It is soft and tender, and I like my beans to be on the creamy side. So here I am mashing some of it. You could scoop some up in your blender and blend as well, whichever way you want it. But I think it's more delicious and nicer when you have some of it mashed up, and that is what I typically do with all my bean stews. If you watch all my recipes for beans, you'll see I do that. And so look at this now. Just beautiful, creamy, soft. It smells so good. Bambara beans is like no other beans. The smell alone, like the aroma, just beautiful. So my beans is almost done now. It's hot and it's a little bit on the sweet side. Not too sweet. Like really, I love this way of cooking Bambara beans. And now I've added my coconut oil, just about a tablespoon of virgin coconut oil to bring in some more richness and creaminess. And that's it. So I'm just going to let this cook a little bit to thicken up just a little bit more. And then we can sit and enjoy this great lunch. Perfect combination. This beans and the pancakes, the tatale, so good. So delicious. I really hope you try both of them. And this is vegan. As you can see, I made sure I didn't put anything except plant-based stuff in this. And the pancakes, I forgot to mention in the recipe for the pancakes, you could also make it gluten-free if you use cassava flour or any kind of gluten-free flour that you want, or just omit the flour altogether. It's not going to be the perfect texture, but it's going to be a healthy and delicious, enjoyable pancake for you. So gluten-free and vegan. And I hope to bring more of such recipes your way. This is perfect. So I'm just going to get some beans on here. And it's piping hot, creamy, a little bit on the sweet side. The spiciness is just on point. The aroma is perfect. And I really, really love this. I've already tasted it. Of course, you know I have tasted it. And it's delicious. And I hope you really give this a try. And when you do, I would love to know how it went for you. Kindly let me know. And please continue to share the videos so everybody else that you know can try this recipe and all my other recipes. So look at this. I took some pancake and now I've got some of this beans, creamy deliciousness on here. And so good. I really hope you give this a try. And until I come your way next time with something delicious, be loving, be kind, be happy.